Well, first of all, let me welcome you this evening to the webinar that's put on by our staff. We're certainly happy to have you join us this evening, and we're really looking forward to being able to answer your questions. A couple of things that I just wanted to remind everybody about is that the team has done a phenomenal job of collecting the questions in advance through the webinar registration, and we hope that we're able to answer most of them tonight. If for whatever reason questions come up, I believe the team will share with you throughout the webinar on how you can get those answered at a different time. You know, these are certainly different times in our society where we're constantly being asked to be flexible or to adapt to the kinds of things that's happening in society. Here at Mitchell College, we're no different than in terms of what's happening everywhere. You know, we will do our best continuously to provide you with as much updated information as possible as soon as we have it from those that we work with in our particular Mitchell community, as well as those that we work with, especially on the public health side within our region. So we'll do our best to keep you informed of any changes. We simply ask that you reach out to us if there are questions and that you do understand and partner with us in being as flexible as possible. One thing I'll say before I introduce Dr. Ballou is that feel free to check back often as possible to gain any new information and insights to any changes that may happen. Please know that we'll do our best, as I said earlier, to keep things coming and keep you updated as much as possible. And now I'm going to move on to introduce you to Dr. Ballou. Dr. Ballou is considered the Chief Academic Officer, and she's brand new to Mitchell and just an incredible person. She comes to us from various different institutions. I'll mention just a couple. Most recently from University of New Haven. She's been at Appalachian State University in North Carolina, along with Champlain, which I hope I'm saying that right, in Vermont. She brings a wealth of knowledge in higher education and experience. And I find her to be a very compassionate an empathic person. So I know that you will have a wonderful time, even when you come to campus, getting to know her. And for now, I'll just simply introduce her and let her welcome you and share a few words. Thank you so much. And now, Dr. Ballou.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Dr. Espy, for that incredibly warm introduction. I'd like to welcome everyone to this webinar. It is day one of week 2 for me as part of the Mariner family at Mitchell College, and I'm so excited to be here. The situation is certainly not everything that we hope it would be with COVID and with the variant, but I want to assure you that on the academic side of things, as on the other divisions of the college, we are being as proactive as possible. We are being flexible. We are staying in touch with best practices, both locally and nationally. And I am here to make the year as smooth as possible for the Mitchell College students and for the faculty and staff who are working on behalf of the students. We need flexibility, and I think everyone understands that as we're 18 months into a pandemic. So it's old hat by now to be flexible and to expect flexibility from everyone else. The academic staff has been working on the plan long before I arrived last week. And so those folks will be answering your questions tonight. We have been planning for in-person instruction, and that is our plan going forward. We have a plan as well for unvaccinated students and for those who have medical and religious exemptions to the vaccine. So we are on top of that. And we want to be as accommodating as possible to all of our students so that they can come to campus and have as normal a semester as possible. We want our students to be students. We want them to learn and to grow and to be involved in all that Mitchell has to offer to them. And we're not going to let a pandemic stand in the way of that. And so I'm delighted to be with you tonight. I won't be answering your questions directly, but I am a resource for you going forward. Again, my name is Dr. Betsy Ballou. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Dean of the College. And it's my job now to introduce Dr. Alicia Martinez, who is also a new Mariner, and I will let her tell you a little bit more about the role that she is playing at Mitchell College. Over to you, Dr. Martinez.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ballou. First and foremost, I want to say welcome to everyone. I am so happy to be here and happy to be able to share with you the wonderful things that will be coming down the line. As has already been shared with you, we've been taking a lot of time to plan and to, really think about how we are going to make this experience such a wonderful and impactful experience for your students and for the families and, for the staff. We want to make sure that the students, again, as Dr. Ballou mentioned, have as normal of experience as we can. We want them to be engaged. We want them to really experience college life the way it's meant to be, where they can learn, they can grow, they can be challenged, and they can be actively involved. So one of the things that, again, you're going to hear throughout this webinar is we're talking about flexibility. We're talking about partnership. We're talking about making sure that we're partnering with our students, we're partnering with the parents, and we're partnering with the community to, again, give the students the most impactful experience so that they have the opportunity to learn and grow and really see what it means to be a part of where they belong, and to be able to acknowledge that this is the place that I'm meant to be and a place that I can be myself. And that's one of the key things that we're really looking at doing and working with you on. So at this point, I just want to say again, I'm really happy to be here. Welcome. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our Director of Campus Safety, Mr. Eric Costa.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Martinez. I know it's been a trying 18 months, but I think the biggest thing that I've taken out so far is about community. And that's what we're about here at Mitchell College. And it's important how we are with our community here in the city of New London and how we are here on campus at Mitchell College. Again, thank you for coming to this important webinar. As the Director of Campus Safety, I was selected by President Espy to head the COVID-19 response here at Mitchell. In the city of New London and New London County, the COVID-19 transmission rates are high. With that being said, being a community stakeholder, we have decided to require vaccinations of all students to return to campus. This decision was made to minimize the risk of the transmission on our campus and our surrounding community. Our standards were found by the guidance of the state of Connecticut Public Health and our local health department, which is Ledge Light. The following is a summary of the COVID response here for fall of 2021. And we look for our community to take a partnership in that response. So let's get started. Students, staff, and faculty will not be required to wear face coverings while outside moving throughout campus. In abundance of caution, we have decided to wear face coverings which will be required at all school-sponsored activities and events. All students will be required to submit a negative COVID test, either rapid antigen or a PCR test, taken within 3 days prior to arrival to campus. Failure to supply that form of a negative test will restrict your access to campus until you get tested. Mitchell College has made the decision to keep our community safe, and as required, all students and faculty, all students to be fully vaccinated while on campus. All students who have requested an exemption should have done so and been notified of being approved or denied. If you did not receive an approved exemption, you will be required to be vaccinated, and your access to campus will be restricted until the vaccination process has begun. If you are a student who has started the process of vaccination, you must provide your vaccination card that indicates the date of your first vaccination shot. If you need assistance in scheduling your second shot for vaccination, you can contact Health and Wellness at healthservices@mitchell.edu. Students who are in the vaccination process must be tested weekly until fully vaccinated. The recommendation is that both vaccinated and unvaccinated students, faculty, staff are required to wear face coverings indoors at all times. This does not include dorm rooms where students are in control of their environment. Fully vaccinated students will not be required to test weekly. They will not be required to quarantine when in contact with a known positive person, but will be asked to take a surveillance PCR test for safety of the community. Vaccinated students will be required to test if symptomatic as well. Unvaccinated students will be required to test weekly, required to test if symptomatic, and they'll be required to quarantine for 14 days if in contact with a known positive in a collegiate setting. All students will be required to sign up for the Co-Verified app during orientation, where they will be capable to upload their testing and vaccination reports and take their daily symptoms. All classrooms will be at a 3-foot social distancing, and face coverings will be required. During move-in, we are asking for students to be accompanied by no more than 2 family members. We strongly encourage that those members be vaccinated and wear face coverings while indoors. For the most up-to-date COVID-19 policy, including vaccinations, pre-arrival testing, and face covering requirements, please visit our website at mitchell.edu/fall-2021/COVID-information. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Jen Riley Welsh and Christina Chappelle, who will continue our conversation. Stay Mariner strong.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much for being here today. It is my pleasure to come to you today as a proud member of the academic affairs team and the first year experience. We're especially excited to welcome our newest Mariners in just a few days. My piece tonight is just a little bit about what is going to be happening in the classroom. As Eric has mentioned, there will be some things that will look very familiar and some things that we at this point just need to keep doing to keep each other safe. But bottom line, classes will begin on Monday, August 30th. So we are almost there, and they'll begin with their designated mode of delivery. And at this point, it's our intent as of today to run almost all of our classes in person. So we look forward to having everyone. And if you have any questions about your courses, as always, you can check with your advisor. And I don't want to steal my colleagues' thunder in just a moment. If you have questions about the things that you'll need for attending classes, as Eric mentioned, face coverings will be required in our classroom where the 3 feet social distancing will be observed. For other supplies such as textbooks, that information is on the website under the bookstore site, and that is under the drop-down menu of the Student Life drop-down menu. These resources are updated all the time, so please check them regularly. And if you don't see all your course details today, hopefully they will be there in the next few days. We definitely, as Dr. Ballou alluded to a little earlier, we have been busy planning, not just for what we know will happen, but just in case. And so plans are being in place in the event that a student or a faculty member needs to temporarily pivot to a different mode of delivery. So we are working with that. We are working with advisors. We are working to make sure that the messaging stream happens smoothly. So again, whether it be a student that needs to access their class in a different way, or if an instructor needs to reach out to students in a different way, in a different mode of delivery, that messaging will be swift. Students enrolled in internships will continue, as always, to work with the fabulous Paul Dunn in our Integrative Career Development Office. And we really remain committed to assisting students to finding opportunities that clearly match their academic goals and are also responsive to the changing professional and health landscape around us. So those, again, will be experiences that will continue to be meaningful, and we will continue at all costs to support our students and keep them safe. Our current academic calendar will remain updated on our website. Again, that is under the dropdown of the academic dropdown. So please check back and check in regularly. And I'm hoping that again is part of our mantra this year. Check the resources on the website. That is where the most up-to-date information will be. Please check back with the resources that you have around you, and please check in with one another. And we look forward again to the start and the successful semester ahead of us. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce my esteemed colleague, Tina Chappelle, our Assistant Dean of Student Support.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Jen, for that introduction. It truly is a pleasure to be a part of this fall 2021 welcoming webinar. I'm going to talk a little bit to 2 different groups because some of the questions that came in were in regards to student schedules, registration, and I'm going to tie that all back into the role of advisor. As the Assistant Dean of Student Support and Director of Advising, many students have questions about their schedule. So for our new students, your schedules were emailed to you at various points of whenever you completed your academic survey, and those were sent to your personal email or the email at which you provided in your academic survey. For our returning students, good news, the portal opened today at 12 p.m. and you can at 12 p.m. noon, and you can go in and check your schedules. No, it didn't open up in the middle of the night, so I apologize for that, but it is open now and you can go in and you can see your schedule. All of this ties back into the role of the advisor. Here at Mitchell College, we have the centralized advising model, and part of that model is to help guide both our new Mariners and our returning Mariners to the start and transition of a successful semester. So if there are any questions about your books, about your schedule, when are the days and the times, please reach out to your advisor. All of your advisor's information can be located on the webpage, but also I encourage you all to go back into your emails because we've been very busy getting ready to welcome you all back by sending introduction emails, reminder emails, etc. It is really important that for everyone listening here, that you start to begin to think about the books, begin to start thinking about your schedule, begin to make those changes now with your academic advisor. Any questions that you may have following this? This is a very brief kind of overview of the start to semester. Please, both parents, support network members, as well as students, reach out to myself or the academic advising department, and we will be more than happy to help guide you to a successful, what we hope is a start to the fall 2021 semester. At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Matt Brancasio, who is the new Mariner member. He is the Director of Residence Life, and he may be our newest member on board, having been here for just a couple days. Matt, I'd like to pass it over to you.
Thank you, Christina. A couple days is an understatement because today is my very first day, so I'm starting along with all of our new students as well. But thank you for my intro. My name is Matt Brancasio. I'm the new new Director of Residential Life. I'm coming to you from the University of New Haven. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to welcome you all to campus. We've been hard at work narrowing down our processes and our move-ins for all of you coming to us in just a short time. So we do have some updates for you in the housing realm, and we will like to share those with you. But I just wanted to first let you know that I'm here, and I'm here as a resource. I'm here as your support, and I'm here to make sure all of you are feeling welcome and have a great time here as residential students. So with that said, our updates are going to be held by one of our colleagues here in Residential Life. So I'm going to pass it over to Kat O'Brien, who is a residential hall director for Mariner Hall and works with the Mystic Mentor program. So Kat, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you for the introduction, Matt. So Matt already introduced me. I'm going to be the Mystic Mentor this year and a residence hall director in Mariner Hall here at Mitchell. We are so excited to have everyone back on campus soon. So I will be addressing the questions that Res Life has received for this webinar, but I want to emphasize our website as well. The fall 2021 page, as well as the COVID information page, has many answers to the questions that were asked. So, if you do miss something or you need a refresher, there's a really great resources on our page for you all there. And I know that Director Eric Costa touched upon some of these, but I just want to reiterate the importance of a lot of these important steps to take before you decide to move in on campus or come to visit. So some important information to highlight that was sent actually in the most recent COVID-19 update via email, but is also available on our website on the fall 2021 page under fall 2021 communication. If students don't complete the following items, they will not be able to move onto campus on their designated move-in day. So students will need to upload proof of vaccination to Co-Verified. If you are having trouble logging into Co-Verified or you do not have access yet, please send your vaccination proof to healthservices@mitchell.edu. We'll also need to upload or email a negative COVID, PCR, or antigen test that was administered within 72 hours prior to your arrival on campus to go co-verified or to healthservices@mitchell.edu. Each student is allowed to have 2 people or family members to help them move into the residence hall. These 2 individuals are strongly encouraged to be vaccinated and must wear masks inside the buildings at all times. There will be no children under the age of 12 allowed to be in the residence halls. Students are signed up for hour-long slots on the Sign Up Genius. And if they haven't signed up yet, please do so. And you can reach out to housing@mitchell.edu if you have questions or you need to locate these sign-in sheets. We ask that you check in at Henry Hall during that hour time slot. You don't necessarily have to move in during that hour. We just ask for you to be mindful of the others who will be coming in to move and to avoid crowding, that you move in as soon as you can. And we will have resident assistants and staff and faculty members there to help with the move-in process and to hopefully get everybody moved in really smoothly and really quickly. Parents are allowed to take their students off campus to go to Target or Walmart if you forgot something, or you want to add something else, or you need some snacks for your room. Or you can take them out to lunch, but please follow the necessary COVID guidelines. Once students move in, we will not be requiring a quarantine period as we did in the past year. At this time, students will not be placed in pods. Any changes relating to the pandemic or the variants, however, might require us to make necessary changes, and students may be placed in pods if needed. So I had other few questions about going into other residence hall buildings. Only vaccinated students will be allowed to go in between buildings, and they would check in with the desk assistant, the DA, and have to show their uploaded vaccination proof on their co-verified app to be able to go into the building. As of right now, we are not letting outside guests into the residence halls. We will revisit this at the end of the fall and early spring sessions. And by guests, I mean outside, and they are not Mitchell students. It said, will there be any events or activities this year? Absolutely. We have been hard at work all summer planning a wonderful Anchors Away orientation for everyone. And we have some other fun activities that are on the horizon. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Splash Bash. But we also have a new student engagement and activities coordinator, Mike Sicretti, who is hard at work planning some engaging events. Masks must be worn in the residence halls and indoor spaces at all times and at all events. I also have some eResLife questions, just really quickly. How to get into eResLife. You type your first name dot last name, and it's your Mitchell email password. If you're unable to reset your password, reach out to housing@mitchell.edu or the technology office for further instructions. In eResLife, that's where you can see who your roommate will be and where you are placed on campus. As far as moving in earlier than your designated move-in date, you will need to email housing@mitchell.edu explaining why you would like to move in early, and we will be forwarding the requests to our dean, Dr. Martinez. And the only other thing I'd like to just speak about is virtual orientation. That's on the Mitchell doc. There are Safe Colleges videos to complete that you should have received to your Mitchell email. We have 2 Zoom Q&A sessions. One is tomorrow, August 17th from 3 to 4 p.m. And we have one Thursday, August 19th from 7 to 8 p.m. And I will be in those meetings and I can help you walk through any questions you have with virtual orientation. And finally, Anchors Away are really important resources to acclimate you to our campus. We're gonna have some really fun silent disco, pizza food truck events. We're gonna have a hypnotist on campus. For Splash Bash, we have a rock wall, we have mini golf, a dunk tank. Who is going to be dunked is to be determined. I'm looking at all my faculty and staff members here. And we're also gonna have a DJ, kayaking and paddleboarding, and so much more. So I thank you all so much for letting me speak. If you have any other questions, please reach out to housing@mitchell.edu. I will now pass it off to Director of Dining Services, Tori Heber.
Hi, guys. So I am also brand new to Mitchell. I have been here for about 2 weeks now, and I'm super excited to be here. And I have just a few questions that I need to answer from the predetermined questions. I'm really excited that, we're able to open up a little bit more this year. So will we be allowed to eat at the dining hall this year? And the answer is yes. It's really exciting. We're going back to self-serve, and we'll be using China as well and we're keeping an eye on the current climate, and any notifications we get to change all of this, we will keep those in mind and change them immediately. We're prepared for that. I have a question of what is the dining plan, and I'm not sure if it means like meal plan or if it means plan to like move forward with dining. So I'll just say that we have, but I do have a meal plan question as well. But the dining plan, if you've been to campus and you've seen, if you walk in, there's several stations. It's really nice. There's a grill, there's a chef table, which is different entrees. There's a deli, a pizza station where we do pizzas and calzones, and a salad bar, and then a lot of serve yourself options for like make your own sandwiches. In breakfast, we have the grill is open. We have sandwiches and bagels and cereal and all that kind of stuff. Meal plans, we have all of the different plans. Freshmen are required to have 19 meals a week, and then it's different after that. To pay for meals and add money to your student cards, we actually have somebody here in the dining hall. Her name is Linda Shields. She has an office. So if you ever need to add money to the cards, you can either call her, or your student can come right to her office and add money for going forward. And yes, the dining hall will go back to self-serve and using 1 drink cup. Everything will be on China, and we'll use regular utensils until we hear otherwise. And we're, again, keeping a keen eye right on that, just to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe. It's the last thing we want to do is to have to go backwards. The last question is kind of a fun question, is what flavors of ice cream are there? And is there soft serve? There's not soft serve, but over at Michael's Dairy, we have 32 different flavors of ice cream, which is super exciting. And then here in the dining hall, we have a bunch of different novelty ice creams that range from like frozen Twix bars to like the chocolate eclair bars and everything in between. So a lot of exciting stuff coming. We're going to do a lot of innovative things like teaching kitchen, where we're going to have our chef out here teaching the students how to create a meal, or even one item. We will do different things every month to celebrate birthdays for your students that are away from home, and I'm just looking forward to a great year and a lot of different things. I would love to introduce Kelby Chappelle. He is the Director of Admissions and Financial Aid.
Thank you so much, Tori. I appreciate the introduction. I really hope the dining hall is going to be open to the staff and faculty. I can't wait to get back up there and get a nice cheeseburger from Maria up there. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Down at admissions in the business office, we are so excited to have the new freshmen and new transfers come to campus. Also extremely excited to get the returners back to campus as well. And so we're just eager and excited. Tonight, I really want to talk about a couple of different things. One, I really thank everyone, parents, students, for being very proactive with getting your holds and taking your financial hold and your bursar holds, taking care of those issues. For us, there's been 3 main holds that we really want to talk about, and really we want to bring this up to make sure that there's going to be a smooth transition when you guys move into campus coming up pretty soon. I know this week we have athletes moving on campus, and then coming up in a short few weeks, we have the freshmen and then returners. So down in the business office and the financial aid office, we've seen 3 main holds. One, bursar hold. If you have a bursar hold, essentially what it means is that you have a balance that's over $1,000. In order to take care of that, what you want to do is you want to reach out to the business office, the bursar's email. Number 2, insurance holds. If you have an insurance hold, typically that's 2 things. One, you want to waive your insurance if you have insurance. And the reason why you want to do that is because the school will charge you $2,500 if you're taking on Mitchell's insurance. So if you have your own insurance, log on to the Gallagher website. Please be sure to take care of that. If you don't have insurance, you can easily just enroll into that plan there. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to Crystal Simmons, who's down in the admissions office. And then 3, financial aid hold. If you have a financial aid hold on your account, essentially it probably means that you have a document that needs to be submitted into the financial aid office, or it could mean that you haven't signed your financial aid award letter, or it could also mean that you haven't logged into your financial aid site and accepted your awards. So we want to make sure you guys can move in nice and smooth. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself. You have Crystal, you have Elise, you have Amanda, you have Susie in the business office. And again, we're so excited to see you guys back here on campus. So with no further ado, I'm going to pass it off to our interim director of library services, Katie Nazareth.
Thank you, Kelby. First and foremost, I wanted to let everyone know that we are so excited the library will be open, fully open from day one for regular hours. So we're so excited to see you there. And a couple of important things at the beginning of the semester that we can help you with are, first of all, your student ID, which I'd like to remind you, if you're a returning student, to please bring your student ID with you. You can use the one you've had in the past. And new students, you should have a link from your admissions friends to submit a new photo online. And if you complete that form online and submit your ID photo by the 18th of August, we will be sure to have it ready for you at move-in. And after that, we will certainly do our best as well. So, but do try to get your IDs photos submitted by the 18th to guarantee that it's ready for you when you get here. And then the other thing we can help you with is logging into your accounts. So you may have all practiced logging into your Mitchell email and getting logged into the student portal and all those things before you get here. But if you run into any questions or problems with your accounts or your password, you can always stop by the library and we will help you solve those problems. So don't hesitate to stop by if you need anything in those first days that you get here. We're so excited to see you and I'll look forward to moving. And with that, I will introduce Beverly Scully, our Director of Thames.
Thank you, Katie. I'm so happy that the library is open this year too. I can see you glowing. I know that you're thrilled. Well, welcome Mariners. I'm reminding you to, for Thames at Mitchell, sign up on Sign Up Genius to move in on August 25th. And you will be checking your Anchors Away schedule of events. And as Kat explained, we have some wonderful activities to welcome you to campus. And at Thames, we have parent meetings and student meetings, and we are so excited to have you here. We have great events planned, so don't miss out. Our classes, to remind you, begin on August 30th. Remember to get your academic supplies and get everything ready so you're ready to begin and hit the ground running on that day. And once again, I would like to just welcome you. And if you have specific questions, feel free to call my office. We are working hard. All our teachers are there and we can answer your questions, or feel free to email Ron Samuel or me. And thank you, everyone. And now let's introduce Meredith Adler, the woman with energy, who's put everything together. And she is the Assistant Director of the First Year Experience. And way to go, Meredith, off you go.
Thank you, Beverly. So we are so thrilled that you all joined us tonight. As Beverly said, I am the Assistant Director of the First Year Experience, and I'm just sort of waiting around for my first years to arrive. We are so excited to have our returners back. Absolutely. But there is a real excitement and joy that comes from that transition from before college to college, or from one college to a different college. And however it is that you are joining us this year, whether as a returning student or as coming up from Thames, or from transferring from another college, or straight out of high school, or we have someone who's coming in after many decades of not being in school and deciding to start school. It's all beautiful, and we are so thrilled to have you. The campus is gorgeous. Today I went for a walk down to Michael's Dairy. I got the mango sorbet, highly recommend. And the only thing that's missing is the students. We are ready for you. I hope you didn't get nervous when you heard I'm new, or this is my first day, or this is my first week. These folks, we've hired incredible people, and they are really focused on making this year a really special and safe one for you to get the education that you want. So I just want to say again to the first years, we're excited to see you on August 25th. We have athletes who are moving in this week, RAs moving in this week. The rooms are ready, the people are ready. And this was a lot of information. So please check the website if you feel like you missed something. This recording will be on the website tomorrow. As Tina Chappelle mentioned earlier, your advisor is such a crucial contact for you. If you are connected to Thames, reaching out to Beverly or Ron. If you have any questions, if you don't know who your advisor is and you are not part of Thames, then reaching out to admissions and asking questions there. There's always someone who will be there for you. If we didn't answer some of your questions during the webinar, we apologize. We will make sure that information is live on the website for you. So thanks so much for coming. Have a great night, stay safe, and we will see you very soon.